All right, I wanted to go over how to kill Onyxia as a rogue. So I'm going to be going over the 3 different phases of the fight, what you should be doing, your positioning, all that jazz. But right at the get-go, don't press sprint like I just did there. Save it for phase 2. I'll tell you when to use it, but just wanted to point out that even though I did sprint at the start here, I would not recommend you do that. So I usually don't attack the boss until it's in position. And once it is in position, I start attacking. And I just start doing single target rotation. Depending on what tank you have tanking Onyxia, you can feint if you're having issues with threat. Just do not vanish in phase 1. You really do not want to use vanish until phase 3. So it's pretty important that you don't waste your vanish early in the fight. It's going to cost you a lot of damage later. So it's actually better to feint a few times in phase 1 than to burn your vanish. So about positioning, you're going to see I'm right behind that front paw, and that way I'm able to backstab and still stay far away and make sure I'm not going to get tail whipped. Now, if you are behind that back paw or even with it, you can get tail whipped and you will get sent into the whelps, and it'll be, it's not ideal. So, and you also don't want to be in front of the paw or else you'll get flame breathed. So positioning is important, but besides that, phase 1, single target damage. Now, phase 2, you can see we just triggered phase 2. At 65%, Onyxia will start running towards the front of the lair before flying up in the air. So you're going to see me, I'm just now popping all my cooldowns. You can pop them a little bit sooner. If you have your add-on that shows you the percent of Onyxia, so at like 66%, it's good to pop everything. But I pop all my cooldowns here. I'm going to use Thistle Tea as she's running away. And the reason we're popping all our cooldowns now and doing as much damage as possible is because this is about to be phase 2 of Onyxia, where she flies up in the air. And if you do as much damage as possible between 65% and when she flies up in the air, it's going to reduce the amount of time that she is in phase 2 and up in the air. And so this is the point of the fight where you can really speed things up. So obviously she's running away. You don't have to worry about threat. You pop all your cooldowns, do as much damage as possible, and you are going to actually shorten the fight quite a bit if you're able to add a lot of damage in this phase. So as she's flying away, you can keep attacking her. You can actually, throughout the entire fight, as long as you're close to Onyxia, you can use your abilities. Your auto attacks will not hit her. So you're going to see as soon as I went ahead and used some leftover combo points I had on Onyxia on a slice and dice, I came over to the whelps, and I'm going to Blade Flurry these down. So I am going to help AoE the whelps right at the start. You don't really have to do this if your group's got a lot of good AoE, but I usually just use my Blade Flurry, clear out the whelps, and then I run back over to Onyxia. So now I'm going to start backstabbing her. Now, obviously, Sinister Strike if you're not playing daggers. But you just keep following around and attacking her. Now, the only thing you have to keep an eye out, if your guild does a lot of damage or you're running like a 40-man group, you're probably not going to have to worry about a breath from Onyxia. However, if you are split running, keep an eye out for the breath from Onyxia, especially because if you're doing this strategy where you're following around Onyxia and you're attacking her, you're going to be pretty close to her, and if she does start a breath, you're going to want to run away. So whatever direction her head is facing it'll start, the fire will start at Onyxia's position and follow out in front of where her head is pointing. So just don't be in that line of fire and you'll live. So just if you see a breath while she is up in the air, run run away from the dragon. So now phase 3. So that's pretty much it for phase 2. Now we have the start of phase 3. This is the most important phase for rogues because you can actually do a lot of damage in this phase, and this is a trick you can pull off. So as soon as Onyxia lands, she is always going to cast Bellowing Roar. And if you vanish like I did here, you can completely ignore the fear. So that's a trick to not get feared. If you vanish right as the fear goes out, you don't get feared. But you also, even if you do get feared, as soon as you're out of the fear, you want to press vanish, and all of your threat will drop to 0. And now you are able to do as much damage as you want. You don't have to worry about threat anymore. Just do full damage, full single target rotation. You don't have to worry about fainting, anything like that. You're going to have your tank's going to have a huge threat lead over you because you just vanished. So it's really important to save your vanish for phase 3. Now with your cooldowns, some of your shorter cooldowns are going to start coming up. towards the end of the fight in phase 3, depending on how fast you kill Onyxia. Just keep in mind that ideally you want to wait for a fear from Onyxia before you pop your cooldown. I think I actually make this mistake here. You're going to see my Blood Rage comes off cooldown, and I just pop it right away, and then I get feared. So if you do have time, like I press it actually right here, right as I get feared. So I ended up wasting probably like 4 or 5 seconds of that. So if you do want to take the most advantage out of your cooldowns as they come off, wait till after you get feared to pop the cooldown. And that's pretty much it for Onyxia. Stay off the cracks if you don't want to get, take extra damage. You can bandage if you want to help the healers. But that's pretty much it, and good luck on getting your Viscag.